Surprise, surprise. I know I tell y'all quite often that I don't watch NXT regularly. I keep up with it, but I don't watch it every single week. But there were some things on the No Mercy card that had me so entranced that there was no way I wasn't going to watch it. I'm going to preface this whole video with I did not watch most of the NXT shows leading up to it outside of Homecoming. Yeah. Yeah, that's it actually. Just Homecoming. And then this past week when a certain match was announced, I was like, yeah, I'm watching this. And it wasn't that the matches didn't interest me. I get lazy sometimes, y'all. I'm sorry. But for the very first time, I'm pretty sure, we are going to review an NXT show because this absolutely blew WrestlePalooza show out of the water, which isn't a surprise to anyone. Let's just be real. So the show kicked off with Javon Evans and Josh Briggs. Y'all just don't understand how much I love Javon, okay? That baby, and I only call him a baby because like I'm in my mid-30s, he's in his early 20s. He is the future of WWE. I'm so sorry. If that man does not become the face of the company at some point, you're doing something wrong. There is not a single person I have ever come across that does not like Javon Evans, that does not see what Javon Evans can do in the ring and get excited. He had probably the best weekend because not only did he have this match, but on Friday he also answered Sami Zayn's open challenge for the United States Championship and put on a banger of a match there as well. This match with Josh Briggs, though, did not disappoint. And it even made me see Josh Briggs in a good light also. Briggs was absolutely dominating for a nice majority of this match. Like, I was literally yelling at my TV for Javon to get up and fight this man. And every time he did, he fought him. And then at some point, Briggs would turn it back around and lay Javon out. But of course, the young OG ended up pulling it off. I really enjoyed this match. I'm not going to lie. I'll go ahead and say this early. This show makes me want to tune into NXT more. Like, there's so much, and I've always known this. Let me just make that clear. There's so much great wrestling down there as well that I'm going to have to find the energy, the wherewithal, something to keep up with this show as well, because that was great. Next up was supposed to be Lainey Reed getting her shot at Sol Ruka's Speed Championship, but Lainey was unable to compete as she was injured the night before in training. And Lainey did post a picture of her ankle, and yikes, I'm wishing her the very best. Now, because Kalani Jordan became the new TNA Knockouts champion the night before, again, I'm thinking with the invasion angle that we're probably going to get a TNA star, because NXT is starting to rack up quite a few TNA championships. And at some point, TNA has to do the same thing, right? Well, wrong. Because it was not a superstar from TNA. It was Jada Parker herself who answered Sol's challenge. I'll admit, I've only seen maybe 3 or 4 speed matches, but I've always enjoyed them. The 5-minute rule makes it fun, and I'm so glad that we are putting these on TV now as opposed to them just being on X. I'm wondering what happened to the men's title because I ain't seen it in a minute, but that's neither here nor there. Jada and Sol absolutely put on a good match, but are we surprised? Are we shocked? This one really came down to the wire because in the last minute, we still hadn't had a pin. And if it were not for Jada allowing herself to be distracted, we probably would be having a new champion. Jada got mixed up with Zarya, and then she turns around and who's there but the bougie bully herself, Lash Legend. While she misses a spear from Zarya, which ends into Lash Legend, curious to see where that ends up going. By the time Jada gets back in the ring, Sol has gotten some energy, hits a Soul Snatcher, 1, 2, 3, Sol Ruka is still your speed champion. Now this one, this is the match that got me to tune in. I am not gonna lie to you. Jordynne Grace versus Blake Monroe in a weaponized steel cage match. Just the name of it was like, you have 2 beasts, 2 monsters, 2 powerhouses like Blake Monroe and Jordynne Grace. And you're not only putting them in a steel cage, but a steel cage with weapons? And it was very on brand for me because if you can't tell, I love pink. And the weapons were all pink. We had belts. We had kendo sticks. There was garbage cans. They ended up pulling out diamonds. Look, at one point, Blake even had Jordan tied to the rope using the core of a blow dryer. From start to finish, this match was absolutely phenomenal. It makes me remember why I love women's wrestling. You cannot deny that regardless of what promotion it's in, the women are absolutely killing it right now and showing why they deserve to be on the marquee, just like the men. I have to say my favorite part, of course, was Blake cutting out Jordan's hair. And then, of course, the diamonds instead of the usual thumbtacks or something, because that hurts just as much. It might not pierce your skin, but, well, Jordan was quite bruised after that match. So I don't think we can say that. In the end, Jordynne Grace was able to pull off a win and pin Blake Monroe after sending her through the table from the top of the ropes. That only begs the question, where does Miss Grace go now? I am waiting on her to show up on SmackDown. I think Jordan would be perfect on SmackDown right now. Y'all know in my WWE draft video, I mentioned Jordan going to SmackDown or Raw, and then Lash Legend going to one or the other. It does not seem like we're getting a draft at this point. However, I still want to see Jordan on SmackDown. Because at this point, Tiffany Stratton does not have any contenders. Tiffany Stratton is hitting 200 and something, I'm not sure the correct number, but she's way over 200 odd days as champion. And after she defeated Jay and Nia, who's next? Jordynne Grace could be perfect. Or, you know, if that finger is healed, Bianca, but like that's neither here nor there. We won't get into that today. The NXT North American Championship was on the line when champion Ethan Page faced off against Tavion Heights. I'm not gonna lie, for a second, I thought Tavion might pull it off. I was really enjoying this match because Tavion showed me a side of him that I'm not used to, which obviously I don't watch NXT often, so of course it was all new. I've always loved Ethan. Ethan can put on a banger match regardless of who he's in the ring with, so I enjoy him. Tavion was someone new for me to enjoy, and he kind of got my vote. I love his gear. I love his hair. But more importantly, he is absolutely amazing in the ring. Like, NXT has so much great talent. There's really no reason I wasn't watching before this. I'm so sorry. Don't jump me. Now, Ethan was able to retain, but I think Tavion is going to get that at some point. I definitely see Tavion holding gold within the next few months. Unless it's going to Javon Evans. But one of those two is for sure taking that title off of Ethan Page by the end of the year. Lola Vice got her shot at the NXT Women's Championship when she faced off against champion JC Jane. And I'm not gonna lie, this match had me on the edge of my seat because Lola's whole family was there. They were in the backyard of her hometown of Miami, so everything was falling into place for us to think we were getting an and new with the women's match, right? Wrong. While Fallon did end up getting ejected, these two still were beating the absolute hell out of each other to the point that as they're hitting moves that should have and could have ended the match, they don't have the energy to actually seal the deal for themselves. They are absolutely exhausted before a blacked out figure comes out of nowhere, kicks Lola, almost making her get counted out. But while she didn't get counted out, that gave JC enough time to recuperate and seal the deal, retaining her championship. The question is, who is this dark figure? While I originally thought it was Laney Reed, after seeing Laney's ankle, I'm not quite sure. It makes sense since Laney kind of was coming at Lola a little bit sideways before the show, but man, I don't know. I have no idea outside of Laney Reed who it could possibly be, so I'm interested to see where this goes. And finally, the NXT champion Oba Femi put his title on the line against Ricky Saints. And boy, notice I have not called any of these matches match of the night because I have 3 favorite matches and I simply cannot choose. Actually, probably 4. Let's just be real. I enjoyed this entire match card to the point that I don't think I can necessarily pick one match to say of the night. But if I had to choose, it would probably be between this one and the steel cage match because Oba had me nervous the entire match because I wanted Ricky to win. I wanted Javon Evans to win previously, but I really wanted to see Ricky win. And it really, let's be real, Oba needs a call up. Oba needs a call up, and Ricky definitely has what it takes to lead the men's NXT locker room, especially with Invasion around the corner. We're going to get into that in just a second though, because I have a few thoughts. From the video package, I truly went in thinking this was Ricky's night, but as the match went on and Oba dominated and Oba had basically a leg up over Ricky the whole time, I was like, I don't know. But it's always that one move. One thing can turn the tide. And as Oba was originally planning to send Ricky through the announce table, Ricky was able to counter it, sending Oba face first into the announce table. And of course, by the time he got back in the ring, sealed the deal and became the new NXT champion. I wish I had recorded me screaming, because I literally screamed out, oh my God, he actually did it. I don't know. It's just such a feel-good moment. Since his debut, Ricky has had my eye. I have been paying very close attention to one Ricky Saints, because I've heard all of this amazing things about who he is outside of WWE, and I really wanted to see what he would do when he got here. He has yet to disappoint me in any shape or form, and so I'm really, really loving the idea of Ricky carrying that title while Oba possibly comes up to SmackDown. I don't know, but I'm really looking forward to it, especially because my guess is that Ricky Saints will be the one leading Team NXT in the invasion that's coming October 7th. We are getting NXT versus TNA and Survivor Series style matches, which makes me wonder why we just didn't use the Survivor Series name and just leave Survivor Series War Games as just War Games, but okay. I'll take it. I have missed Survivor Series anyway, the original where it was brand versus brand. So to get it back with NXT versus TNA, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm curious as to who will end up on both teams, but for 100% sure, I need Lash and Mara on the NXT and TNA teams. I need the stare down of the former best friends in that ring, okay? I need it. Desperately, I need it. If it doesn't happen, I will rain hell upon everyone. It also looks like we're getting a title for title match with the NXT Tag Team Champions Dark State facing off against my boys, the TNA Tag Champions, the Hardys. Again, with NXT having so much gold, is it possible that they'll also take the TNA championships again? Will the TNA president have to once again pass away his championships to the alternate brand? While I love the Hardys, I don't know, man. I don't know. Dark State is not a group to play with. So I'm very scared for them. I'm quite scared. But if anyone can manage to pull it off and bring some of that gold back home, it would be the Hardys. And I mean, that's kind of perfect. That's our way to get them back, over here. That's just my own agenda. I don't believe they've announced any other matches. If they did, I missed it. However, I will be back for Invasion. We will be tuning in because I need to see what happens and who ends up with what. And if there's any other goal exchanging hands of that night, because at this point, TNA is getting their ass beat. Like, y'all got to fight back. Y'all got to do something. Let me know in the comments if y'all enjoyed No Mercy and which match was your match of the night. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications. Until the last bell rings, bye guys.